Good morning. I hope everybody is well today. I'm coming on quickly. I'm coming on quickly to. Good morning. I'm coming on very quickly because I thought it would be important to define for you exactly who is an adult child of an alcoholic. Where does the name come from? What was the intention behind it? And like this. So, I just have a few notes. This is going to be a quick one, but it was on my heart this morning, so here we go. First of all, as you all know, my late mother, Dr. Jenny Woititz, is known as the founder of this recovery movement, and it grew out of her concern for her own children. We were growing up with my father's active alcoholism, and she began to become concerned about how our childhood experience would impact us in our adulthood. And she just saw it lying in front of us. She saw the road ahead, and she saw where this was all going. I'm sorry if I'm not. I guess I'll look here. Hopefully it looks like I'm looking at you. So this grew out of her own concern for her own children, and in an effort to empower herself to leave the marriage but be able to take care of her children, she started to go back to school at night and got her master's degree in counseling, started a practice, and began working on her doctorate. And her dissertation, she chose to write about the self-esteem of children of alcoholics. Now, if I was going to boil down this whole movement, that's what I would boil it down to, self-esteem. The phrase adult children of alcoholics was intended to provide a place to begin, a place to process this experience, because all we knew then was that it was a lot of crazy, it was a lot of chaos, and it was so, so impossible to tease apart the different aspects of what we had gone through, because it was just chaos, right? So all these years we've been trying to make sense out of chaos, and as you see, it doesn't work. So the name Adult Children of Alcoholics was a place to begin. And as we go along here, I am going to ask you to think about letting go of the label, because my mother would say that being the adult child of an alcoholic is not who you are, it's not what you are, it's a fact of your history. It's a fact of your history. So please just kind of take that in, because we do not want to be tied to the past. And so, in my humble opinion, this has become a label that past a certain point is no longer useful. So that's kind of the history of it. In fact, somewhere in the archives, in a very safe place, probably with all the lost socks, never to be found again, I do have the paperwork where Mom tried to copyright Adult Children of Alcoholics, but you can't copyright words. You can't take words and put them together in a certain order and own it. And that was back in, it could have been 78, I believe. Okay, so there's that. So I wanted to share with you, one thing is, where is this? This is actually, this cassette tape is a tape of the first group of adult children of alcoholics that Mom met with in the living room of the house that I grew up in. And on this tape, they're talking about the characteristics. And the part of the clip that you can hear on this tape is when they are clarifying that adult children of alcoholics guess at what normal behavior is. So this is kind of a cool thing, and I have a lot of things like this. I wish I could play it for you, but I think just for privacy purposes, I wouldn't do that. Anyway, so I just want to read to you some defining things here. One is just very quickly to read over the list of characteristics that this amazing group of humans came up with that really described their experience and what they continue to struggle with. And this is from Adult Children of Alcoholics. And then I have another definition for you after this. Okay, so number one, adult children of alcoholics guess at what normal behavior is. 2, adult children of alcoholics have difficulty following a project through from beginning to end. 3, adult children of alcoholics lie when it would be just as easy to tell the truth. 4, adult children of alcoholics judge themselves without mercy. 5, they have difficulty having fun. 6, take themselves very seriously. 7, have difficulty with intimate relationships. 8, overreact to changes over which they have no control. 9, adult children of alcoholics constantly seek approval and affirmation. 10, they usually feel that they are different from other people. 11, adult children of alcoholics are super responsible or super irresponsible. 12, adult children of alcoholics are extremely loyal even in the face of evidence that the loyalty is undeserved. And 13, adult children of alcoholics are impulsive. They tend to lock themselves into a course of action without giving serious consideration to alternative behaviors or possible consequences. This impulsivity leads to confusion, self-loathing, and loss of control over their environment. In addition, they spend an excessive amount of energy cleaning up the mess. And once I get back to my day job in the fall and start to get settled in, I'm going to start scheduling. We'll be reading through this book and talking about it. We're going to go through all the characteristics together and really talking through the contents of this book. And if you know me, you know my goal is so that we can get through it and put it away and move it forward. And then we'll get into Unwelcome Inheritance and Struggle for Intimacy. I'm looking forward to reading these books with you. So if you're so inclined, pick them up. I do have copies of Struggle you can buy through me or anywhere books are sold. And I think that might be really the only one I have copies of, but I'll let you know when we get closer. I wanted to read to you also a definition that you probably have not heard before unless you've read Unwelcome Inheritance. And what I did in this book, intentionally in an effort to be able to publish some unwritten words from my mother, is that I co-authored this book with her. And so it's written kind of as a conversation / memoir. And so there are some really beautiful nuggets from her in here. In fact, they wanted me to, they wanted me originally to have somebody, a doctor, anybody, to put on the cover. And I felt very strongly that the only person that would have been appropriate is my mom. So anyway, okay, so this is a very old quote from Mom explaining where this idea comes from. And here she says, "We refer to them as adult children because though they are chronologically adults, because of the environment they were brought up in and the fact that they have really had to bring themselves up, in some areas of their lives, their maturity level is more like that of a child than an adult. So there is an adult that became an adult too soon in some ways, and a child that didn't have the parenting that they may have needed in order to develop in other ways." I'm just going to read it one more time because I know it's a lot. If you're hearing it for the first time, it's like, what? It might be a lot. So I'm just going to read it one more time, and then I'm going to wish you all a beautiful day. So, we refer to them as adult children because though they are chronologically adults, because of the environment they were brought up in and the fact that they have really had to bring themselves up. In some areas of their lives, their maturity level is more like that of a child than an adult. So there is an adult that became an adult too soon in some ways, and a child that didn't have the parenting that they may have needed in order to develop in other ways. So to put that in another way, many of us had to raise ourselves. We had responsibilities at home far beyond our years, maybe 5-year-olds raising younger children. I mean, some really serious worries, concerns, responsibilities. However, we were children that did not have parenting and role modeling that we needed in other ways. So that's very conflicting. And there is also this whole lack of knowledge and upbringing that we didn't receive. And, you know, we're trying to catch that up now, trying to live in this adult world. And it's challenging. So I hope that this has been interesting to you. We'll be having more conversations and really be getting into the work. And that's all I have for the moment. I hope you all have a great day. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have a moment. I'm going to be reposting this as a YouTube video. Please, I love your comments. I welcome them. It lets me know how you're doing and what you need. So, and it also tells me that I should keep going. Okay, thank you, everybody.